Dirtle Magic. Hello and welcome back. You can follow our post on Twitter and Facebook at DirtleMTG to stay up to date on our latest videos and other posts, and you can join a more robust discussion about Casual Commander at our blog, TheDiceBag.blog. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content to help the channel and the blog grow. Another way you can support the channel, though, is through our affiliate links in the description below. If you're looking for single sealed product or gaming accessories to protect all of that glory, please consider clicking the links in the description. Now, grab some spells, it's time to dirtle. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're going to be trying some old Stickfingers. Looking at our opening hand, all the lands we could ever want, but absolutely not one piece of gas. Let's go ahead and mulligan. To our second hand, as is for the course, usually when I play Magic, all lands to one land. Oh, that kinda sucks. We do have some ways to get other lands and mana, namely Death Sprout at 4, Skull Prophet at 2, and Dawn Treader Elk at 2. We could risk it. Realistically, we could risk it. But looking across the table, I don't think we can. Let's go ahead and take that mulligan. New hand. Dawn Treader Elk is back. 3 lands, Eternal Witness, more land search. Yeah, we can keep this. Let's go ahead, get rid of the swamp. We'll get some other lands anyway. And I do want the double green in case we want to use E-Wit sooner rather than later. So, that'll be how we go here. Our commander, Old Stickfingers, X black-green, for a legendary 0/0 horror. When you cast the spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So this deck focuses on a lot of the black-green stuff you're used to, reanimation, putting stuff in the graveyard, getting it back, but I also focus on a little bit of life drain and some pinging with Sir Conrad, and actually some commander damage through Old Stickfingers itself. We have things like Rancor, Fallen Ideal, and Rogue's Passage in here because we do have so many creatures in the deck. I felt like it was a viable option. Our first opponent with Prey Stream into play is Kykar the Wind's Fury. 1 blue, red, white for a legendary 3/3 bird wizard flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying and sacrifice a spirit. You add red mana to your mana pool. Our second opponent we will get to in a minute. Comes to our turn, we get some ramp. Let's go Temple of Milady. Scry 1 off the top. I do like the Scry lands early in the game. Helps us get to where we need to go. It is a land. I think we can put that on the bottom. We do have a lot of land search right now. Let's go ahead and pass it off. Our second opponent, with a Stirring Wildwood into play, gonna have to be careful about that, is Doran the Siege Tower, white, black, green for a legendary 0/5 Treefolk Shaman. Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Doran is not exactly the most interesting commander ever, but man can it screw up stuff. Gotta be careful with it out. To our last opponent, Kenrith the Returned King, Hallowed Fountain followed by Telepathy. Your opponents play with their hands revealed. Ooh, it's not the best ever. So let's see, this is for Doran, and this is for Kykar. Yeah, so it looks like Kykar is the basic kind of deck I would have expected. Earthquake, good synergy in that deck. Only 2 lands in Doran's hand. They did mulligan way down, so at least they can get their commander down, but he doesn't do much on his own. In case you're unfamiliar with Kenrith, though, Kenrith the Returned King is 4 white for legendary 5/5 Human Noble. Red, all creatures gain trample and haste on the turn. 1 in green, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature. 2 in white, you gain 5 life. Sorry, target player gains 5 life. 3 in blue, target player draws a card. And 4 in black, put target creature card from graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. Thankfully, it's under owner's control, so they can't steal it from us. That would be kind of bad. Kykar with a mountain into play and passing it off. We have Disenchant over on Doran's side. I think we'll probably, if we have the opportunity, destroy Telepathy, because as much as I like to keep an eye on Kykar, I feel like it's just a feel bad for Doran. Swamp into play. Rolls over to our turn, we get more land search, but also Recursion. Evolution Charm is a card I very much like. Let's go ahead and play Satyr Wayfinder. Of the charm cycle it came with, I think Dawn Charm and Evolution Charm were actually my favorites. Let's get a land. Let's see. Yeah, let's do the Swamp just in case we need double black. Yahenni and Violent Tumor go to the graveyard. Let's pass it off. So there is one thing you have to be careful with Old Stickfingers, is that if you do X and for some reason don't hit any creatures, he will immediately die. So there is that. How often that will happen? Probably not very often, considering what the deck wants to be doing. But just in case, you never know. 2 Kenrith Reflecting Pool into play. Again, a land I'm not that thrilled with most of the time. Oath of Lieges coming down. Okay, so it is kind of a group hug kind of thing. But you always have to be leery. This one seems to be, just my feeling on it seems to be that it is going to be less group hug and more, here's some stuff and then I'm going to slap you with it. At the end of turn, Kykar with a Visions of Beyond. Oh, we have a Mana Vault coming down. No bueno. During Kykar's turn, Doran responds with Disenchant on the Mana Vault. Nice. The less Kykar can cast, the less tokens they get. And there's one thing that bugs me about Kykar in particular. It is really just the best commander if you just want to cast spells. Like, if you're not trying to do any kind of combo necessarily with the commander, unlike Elsha of the Infinite, or Alesha, sorry, it's just better. It's just the best commander for it. Doran the Siege Tower into play for that player. Okay, yeah, it shouldn't really affect us too much. To our turn, Oath of Lieges will trigger. I suppose we could go get an extra land off the Doran player, technically speaking. This will help ramp everyone out. I'm actually also doing it kind of for the Doran player. So we drew a swamp. Let's get a forest. I also draw a Rogue's Passage, so I guess that's good. Let's do swamp. And here, everybody can have some lands. We'll do Sad Robot. Help everybody else out with that Oath. Let's go get a swamp, I suppose. And we'll go to attacks. Let's get in some damage against Kykar while we can. Just based on the removal they have in there, plus all the things they can get tokens off of, I'm not looking forward to Kykar getting any, like, extra I don't get hit for damage opportunities. Let's pass it off. To Kenrith's turn, I imagine they'll get a land. Also, I was just thinking that the telepathy also fosters aggression amongst their opponents, so something to consider if you're playing group hug. Temple Bell coming down. Doran picked a good time to be able to mulligan to 4 cards in hand. And is activated by the Kenrith player. Let's see what we get. It's a Zoni Thousand-Eyed. It could be good layer. Still, this is one of those legendary creatures where I felt like she could have cost 4 and still been okay. I don't know though. I've never gotten to use her to much effect. I don't really like to use Crater Hoof Behemoth effects or any of that stuff, so maybe she's just better in other playstyles. Pretty good in here though. Over to Kykar's turn. I imagine they'll get a land. Kykar coming down for that player. Things may be going to get out of hand. We do have a Psych Rift, an Earthquake, and an Hour of Reckoning in their hand right now. Going to be some heavy control. I don't really care if our creatures die too much. I do care if I can't ever swing at Kykar though. To the cleanup step, Kykar will have to discard a card. Let's see what it will be. They discard Hour of Reckoning. Okay. I mean, that is the weakest of the removal they have in hand, so not too bad. Doran draws a Wilt for their turn. Interesting. I wonder if they'll use it on anything. Blossoming Sands into play, they will gain 1 life. Wilt on the Oath of Lieges could be good. We don't necessarily want Kykar to get up to Cyclonic Rift. It's Wilt to the stack. Wilt gets cycled, actually. Doran gets another land. Ugh, sad face. If we could help them, I would, because at this point, I do want them to be in the game to help us with Kykar and possibly Kenrith. Group hug decks, if they're built correctly, should have a win condition or several. So, I am a bit leery. To our turn, we get Night Howler. Doran quits the game. Yeah, that was pretty rough for him. Good game, though. I'm glad you stuck around to try to eke out a victory at 4 cards. That's pretty cool. Rogue's Passage into play for our turn. Let's go ahead and Dawn Treader Elk. And then let's go 3 visits. We'll get Overgrown Tomb. We'll put it into play tapped. And then let's go ahead and go to attacks. As long as Kykar doesn't have any grave hate, we should be good, but they are playing white. Let's do 1 to Kenrith and the Sad Robot into Kykar. If we can see it. I do have to start moving some things. Damage is good all around. Kykar down to 36, Kenrith down to 37. Let's pass it off. We have mana up to sacrifice the Dawn Treader Elk, and I think next turn do our commander. Just shove a bunch of stuff into the graveyard. If we hit Living End, that should be good. If not, we'll be fine. We have a lot of Recursion in the deck. To Kenrith's turn, by the way. I imagine they'll go get some lands. I don't know if they'll summon their commander, though. Seems like it'd be a little premature. Also, for Kykar's next turn, I'm thinking if they get a land, possibly Gilded Lotus, or Tyrant Sky Summoner and Crash Through. Just to get some tokens going. Temple Bell is activated by the Kenrith player. Let's see what we get. We get Sir Conrad the Grim. Ooh, do we want to set that up first and then do our commander? It would bait out some removal, too. We also have Evolution Charm to get back as long as it's not Exile. New Frontiers. Each player may search the library for X basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. Oh, see, that's a card I would probably try to avoid. Yeah, and then we shuffle. Also, kind of coolish art. I like it. That is problematic. That puts Kykar in a much better position much faster, especially since they go after the group hug player. And that's something I've noticed about group hug too. You always want to be the next person after the group hug player, because you can blow up their stuff, their supported stuff, and make sure nobody else gets anything. I think we're going to take the yes here. So let's go ahead, get 2 forests, and 2 swamps. I guess we'll also go for 1 more swamp, just because we have an activated ability on Sir Conrad, and some double black costs. And there we go. Lots of mana and a lot of death. We do have some mass removal in the deck, not much. We have Massacre Girl and Find and Finality. May need to up that a little bit. Usually people are just wanting to blow up our stuff, so I concentrated more on the recursion. Over to Kykar's turn. They should be able to use Oath on us. That should be fine. Yeah, there they go. Alright, they get Biden of Thassa and Reality Shift. Yeah, Dramatic Reversal's there. So if they go Infinite Mana, that'd also be problematic. Although it doesn't look like they could pump really anything into it besides Earthquake. So I'm not too worried about it yet. But Dramatic Scepter would be problematic. They also would need some Mana Rocks, which we haven't seen yet either besides Gilded Lilith. That would work though. And there's Gilded Lilith, they get a Spirit. It's Doran Sky Summoner. That was the most popular mono blue commander for a very long time. I'm actually kinda sad to see it go away from the heyday when it was. Alright, let's see if they attack. They do have some defenses now. We're pretty much open, so is the Kenrith player. Nothing really to fear here. Yeah, it's coming into us, that makes a lot of sense. We'll be taking 3 in the air. In response, we'll just sacrifice the Drawn Tether Elk. We want that land anyway. Thinking next turn, Sir Conrad the Grim, followed by our commander, get a little bit of damage going because, I mean, frankly, this game might get pretty short pretty quick. So, force them to use some removal. I'm not too worried about Cyclonic Rift at this point, so I hope they use that. Earthquake would be worse, for sure. We take the 3, up to 3 commander, down to 37. To our turn, we get a Forest. Sure, let's play it. Sir Conrad the Grim, let's see if it eats any kind of removal. We do have a Dissolve for the counter magic, so let's see if they do that. Yeah, there it is. I'm fine with that. I was more worried about Reality Shift because of the exiling. That's not my favorite. And of course, Kykar gets a number of creature tokens. I also kind of want to force Kenrith's hand to maybe deal with it, but they might just wait until we're dead or something too. That's usually how you want to play Hug, is kind of sit back and let other people beat each other up. Okay, so now they have... And nothing I too much fear about our commander. Let's go ahead and cast our commander. Let's go X equals 4? No, 5. Yeah, 5 is good. Also want to leave up some mana for Evolution Charm. Never know when we might need a surprise flying blocker, although I don't think it's going to matter. Okay, let's see what we got. Harvester of Souls, Reclamation Sage, Skull Prophet, Springboom Druid, and Gravebreaker Lamia. Our commander is currently 9/9. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack Kykar anyway. Why not? If they want to block with the Drake, that's fine. 1 less fire we have to deal with right now, and card draw is always nice. They take it down to 33. Let's pass it off. Over to Kenrith's turn. Yeah, but each of us have more lands than them, although we're the safe pick. So I imagine they will be getting a land. Still kind of want to see what else they might be doing. Kykar's definitely pulling ahead, and just based on their hand alone, I think it's a pretty safe bet. A little bit worried. Temple Bell activated again. We get Entomb. That's interesting. Does give us access to Massacre Girl. Oath of Ghouls. I wonder if they have the whole cycle. So what does this do? At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player whose graveyard has fewer creature cards in it than the graveyard of their opponents, and that player may return a creature card from the graveyard to their hand. To be fair, that's actually really good synergy in this deck so far. But, no other dead creatures for now, but that leaves us at a disadvantage. Quite a large disadvantage. They did crack Trojan Verge, by the way, and get some lands. Tap down the rest, pass it off. Yeah, we're going to have to go Massacre Girl, though. Which also means they're going to get Doran back now, no matter what. Okay, to Kykar's turn. No creature to return. They did get land off the other oath, though. Temple of Enlightenment was the card drawn for turn. I'm thinking this turn, Bite on Thassa, hold up mana. Oh, there's Ghost Snipe coming down. Yeah, that's going to get rid of stuff real quick. Too bad we couldn't keep Sir Conrad. There's Temple of Enlightenment. They'll be able to scry 1. I'm still thinking Bite of Thassa this turn. Increase the card draw. Keep up mana for that reality shift, probably. Maybe Dramatic Reversal, but I doubt it. Yeah, that's pretty much how I see things going at the moment. There's Biden of Thassa. And there's Reality Shift on our commander. Yeah, it was bound to happen eventually. That's fine. I'd rather get rid of it now, recast it for some more stuff. Hopefully no graveyard hate, but that is a weakness of the deck. They left up no blue mana though, which is something I'm enjoying at the moment. Everybody takes 2, we're down to 35, so is the Kenrith player. And there goes our commander. We'll put it back in the command zone. One of the things I like about old Stickfingers is it gives you a lot of impetus to summon it again. And I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. It's really just straightforward, good stuff, fun times. It's just pretty cool. I like it. I imagine we're about to take a shit ton of damage to the face. Our face down card is Void Maw. That's a sadness. Alright, let's see where everything's going. All onto us. That sucks. We'll be taking 7. We are down to 28, up to 6 commander. Biden of Thassa will trigger 4 times. Let's see. In response, let's go ahead and do Entomb. If they have the graveyard hate, they're going to have it. But they don't have counter magic right now, which is what I want to avoid. And let's get Massacre Girl. Where are you, girl? There she is. Into the graveyard. And there's Negate. Yeah, that's what we wanted to avoid. They don't have blue mana, but you never know. They could have something... Ooh, Smothering Tithe. Ooh, that's just nasty. In either case, they could have something like deflecting SWAT, and the Guardian, Fierce Guardianship. Those free counter spells get me every time. Just don't like them much. There's Smothering Tithe coming down. They also got Temple of Epiphany and Faithless Looting. Just want to point that out in case you missed it. Okay, to our turn. They do not have access to blue mana as far as I'm aware. Yeah, if we can get an extra land out of the deck, that's fine. Looks like it's not happening. Too bad. But anyway, yeah, it looks like if we could get Sir Conrad and Massacre Girl down, I think we're going to be like 1 mana, just not 1 mana not happening though. Oh, we can use Oath of Ghoul. Wait. Oh, we can use the Black Oath's ability? Why? Oh, okay. This actually didn't hose us. It was the opposite. Yeah, I haven't played with that one before. So, yeah, let's get Sir Conrad back then if it's going to be free. I don't see why we shouldn't. Okay, we might have enough mana to do the things now. Let's not pay for the tithe. They can have the treasure. So, Evolution Charm, Massacre Girl, Conrad, Massacre Girl, damages, reset the board? Seems like a good idea. One thing I love about Massacre Girl is it's a creature-based board wipe, which means it's so much easier to get back than like every other kind. So, I totally recommend running her if your deck can take it. Alright, there's the Negate. That's fine. Wanted to bait that out anyway. We still have Ewit, so nothing to fear here. Okay, so we could go Ewit into 1, but then we can't summon both. We'll be 1 mana short. That is a bit of a sad face. But I think we need to save our face anyway. So regardless, let's go Ewit. Get back the girl. We're definitely going to need her to help. Go ahead and cast the girl. Too bad we won't be able to do all that damage. But we can also resummon our commander and do all that, so not too shabby. And she'll trigger a bunch of times. Mostly we're going to get some card draw. And we also get Void Maw to the graveyard, so that might also be something to recur later. Especially against Kenrith. Alright, that's all done. Board is cleared. Probably only for a turn or two. Let's play Eccentric Farmer. Just get that going. Get another land to our hand. Play a land for turn if we didn't. Don't quite remember at this point. Next turn, if we can do it, probably Night Howler with a Rogue's Passage. Seems like a good idea. Let's go ahead and grab that first. Ooh, Gerard's in the graveyard. Another possible win condition there. And I think we'll just pass it off. We have more than enough lands to get Gerard back, so if we can't attack, Night Howler onto something big, smash face if we can, sack it to Gerard, drain some life totals. Seems like a good idea. We also have Sir Conrad to consider as well. Looks like the Black Oath is also going to be helping us a lot, so let's see how things go. Kenrith's turn sees a land, then a Temple Bell activation. Sure. They get an island, we get Woodland Cemetery. What Kenrith gets, I have no idea. It's Ranger's Path. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, that's not a group hug card, that's just ramp for Kenrith. Cool. Treacherous Terrain would be really bad at a low life total, so we're going to have to be careful, because they may have that in the deck. Over to Kykar's turn. Let's see what they draw for the turn. Can they get more lands? I think they still can. Yeah, there's one. They draw a land for the turn, so we still have to worry about Psych Rift. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. Earthquake is fine. They'd have to pump all their mana into it and waste a turn wiping our board. So I'm not too worried, but yeah, Psych Rift is something I'm fearing at the moment. Don't really have protection for our commander because I usually want it to die or get exiled, so I don't have that in the deck. But I can put us back a turn, which is somewhat problematic. It's Kykar the Wind's Fury coming back down. Only way they'll maintain a board presence, really. So what I'm thinking is Night Howler bestowed on Massacre Girl, see if they bounce it. If they do, we have another board wipe to use against Kykar, and then they'll have to answer that as well. My other problem is Earthquake can hit us, which I forgot to mention earlier. So that could be problematic with a lot of mana. I hope Kenrith is also aware of that. Hopefully they'd counter it in case they get threatened out by it, but we are at the lowest life total. So, don't think they will if they don't have to. They have Crash Through come onto the stack. They get a Spirit. They also get to draw a card. It's Battlefield Forge, yet another land. Bit of a land block there for them. To our turn, they do have enough mana up for Rift, but again, I'd rather bait that out sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and get a free creature back. That works for me. What do I want to get back, though? Could just get Gerard back. Let's go ahead and threaten that. Put pressure on them for that Rift real good. We get a Farce for the turn, otherwise we will not pay for the Tithe trigger. Let's go Woodland Cemetery. Now let's go Gerard Golgor Lich Lord. Had an EDH deck built around it. Kind of played the same way every time. This one's a little bit more flexible, but there's been a lot of cards released since then. He is a 13/13, not too shabby. Let's go ahead and bestow the Night Howler and see if we can't bait out that Psych Rift. To the attacks. Go ahead and attack Kykar. Probably should have nicked Kenrith for a little bit, but oh well. Let's activate the Rogue's Passage and pick the Massacre Girl to be unblockable. Want to bait out that Psych Rift. I also would have been fine with them blocking with Kykar, but again, Psych Rift is a problem, needs to be dealt with. And there it is, they'll get a Spirit. And we will respond. Sacrifice the Massacre Girl. We get to drain our opponents for 15. There they go, 16 for Kykar, 18 to Kenrith. We're at 26, we don't actually gain any life from it. Everything gets bounced back. No more Oath triggers, no more draining. Well, just yet anyway. The glorious thing about Night Howler is it's a backup to our commander in its size. Telepathy is noticeably gone, so we will have to worry about some counter magic. But I think we are only maybe a turn or two away from winning, so not too shabby. Over to Kenrith's turn. Smothering Tithe does the triggering like it always does. Alright, Kenrith is getting lower on life. I want to see if it forces them into a more aggressive, huggy stance. Like, bear hug, I guess you could say. It's Temple Bell coming back down. I really hope they wait to activate it. I don't need any extra counter magic coming out of Kykar, but par for the course, they're probably going to tap it. Oath of Liege is coming back down. Alright. Watery Grave into play for the Kenrith player. It is untapped. They go down to 16. There's Temple Bell. I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but they've done it all game, so it was expected. We get Foundation Breaker. Yep, that's pretty good. Blow up the Bident. We will not pay for the Tithe. Another good thing about it is it has Evoke, which I love, from the Lorwyn Elementals. So we can cast it at a discount. It comes into play and dies as a creature in the graveyard, getting us to that sweet spot for that 16 life loss. Walking Archive. I haven't seen that in a while. Alright, so it is like a Howling Mind-esque effect. Each player draws an extra card at their upkeep for each one with counter on it. Yeah, Kykar being after the Hug player is making things a little bit difficult. Hopefully they won't have too much counter magic. Gerard has its own recursion ability, so that's not too bad. Dramatic Reversal, okay. Let's see. What will they get out of that? Just the Gilded Lotus, I think? They could do Earthquake. It wouldn't do much at the moment, though. Alright, know their responses. Over to their turn. Guess they just wanted to cast it. Alright, so we know their hand is got 3-ish lands in it, maybe 2. And we know what else is in there. Earthquake specifically is gonna be kinda bad. Shared Animosity. Yeah, that's also pretty bad. So that and Earthquake. This is probably game here against Kykar. But let's see if they mess it up or something. I'd appreciate that. To say the least, but we got close. We had a plan. We are one turn away from winning. And considering, I don't know, I think we did pretty well. I have been enjoying this deck a lot, like I said. Been testing it a bunch. And it's just a really simplistic, easygoing deck. Swifty Boots coming down for Kykar, another spirit token. If they don't kill us this turn, we have it next turn. And I'm pretty sure... I don't remember. I think Earthquake is a sorcery? Yeah, it is. Okay, that works out for me. Swifty Boots to Kykar. Kykar is not a spirit. However, these will all be getting a 3-0 bonus to each other. I think it only counts each other creature. Let's go check. Yeah, each other creature. So that'd be 16 plus 3. We'll survive if they don't Earthquake. I'm confused why Shared Animosity triggered 4 times. Kykar is not a spirit, so I don't know what that's about. I don't see... Yeah, so it triggered 4 times, but only did the 3 bonus. Okay, I'm just confused then. Might be a bug, but we will be taking 12 damage. There we go, down to 14. Let's see, 3, 7, 9, plus 5 is 14. Yeah, they have enough to kill us with Earthquake. Tezzeret, Artifice Master. Okay, now they do not have enough to kill us with Earthquake. Interesting. They draw a card. If they control 3 or more artifacts, they drew 2 cards instead, and they do have 2 or more. Treasure, specifically. Jeskai Ascendancy, that'll be good for him. Need you to tap down the rest of that blue mana, though. The Gilded Lotus and the Islands, go for it. Just put stuff on the table. Just go. Oh, the treasures too. You know what? They have a lot of mana. It's Faithless Looting. Lots of triggers will happen. Creatures they control will get 1/1 and they get to untap. That's fine. They also get to draw a card if they do discard a card, and then they'll draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. They discard a number of lands. Yeah, don't think they really need those anymore. It's Teferi's Protection. Sad face. Okay, that's still alright. We can set up in their face, and then if they do anything, as long as they don't have something like Disallow or Trick, was it Tail's End, stuff like that that counters triggered abilities and activated abilities, I think we'll still be okay. Okay, they phase out. T Protection does the protecting. To our turn. So like I said, let's just set up in their face. Foundation Breaker, we might need to cast anyway and blow something up because we still need more creatures in the graveyard. I'm going to double check the count real quick, but we are going to need to immediately slap them for 15. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to put some stuff in the graveyard, I think. Let's go Forest. Let's go Gerard. Not Jared. Gerard. Let's go our commander. And we're just going to cast it for the 4. It costs no X. And that's another great thing about old Stickbones I love, is that you don't even need to care about that X, like, ever. Then let's go Night Howler. Make sure we have 6 lands untapped for 2 activations on Gerard, because that's what we're going to need here. And pass it off and hope Kenrith doesn't do anything to upset the balance of the game. Oh, we had a Hypergenesis get suspended. It needs to do a better job with the suspended cards in this game, especially, like, just any of them. Plus Chancellor of the Annex. Like, the game, if you pay attention to the log, it will tell you. But the game has, like, no, hey, this card was played, or this ability was used on turn 0. Same thing with the suspend cards. Alright, so what does this do? Oh, we just get to slap stuff into play? Nah, it's fine. Alright, Kenrith's turn proper. Let's hope they don't do anything to force my hand. Root Weaver Druid into play. Yeah, we are not going to get any lands. They don't need any, and I need to just stick with the plan and take out Kykar if at all possible. Each player gets to draw a card. Yeah, Kykar gets to draw a card. I was wondering if because they are phased out, but they aren't actually phased out, that'd be an interesting rules dilemma. We get Wayfarer's Bauble. Tempt with Glory. Put 1 counter on each creature you control. Then each player may also do that. Otherwise, if they do, they get counters. You know what? No, we're not going to do it. My bad. That won't actually get us anywhere closer to victory, since we still have to have the 2 activations. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library, draw a card. Oh. Okay. They're targeting themselves. Oh my, that would have been so bad. New Frontiers. Each player may search for a basic land card put onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, I guess we'll take them up on that one. They're tapped out anyway. But man, that cleared the mind. That could have been a loss right there. Not gonna lie. Let's get a Swamp. Okay, to Kykar's turn, we have a chance to respond to triggers, and they have a chance to respond first. So let's see what happens. Alright, let's keep priority, tap down our mana, get all the black that we ever require. And activate it one more time. Return our commander to the command zone and see if this wins us the game. They're going to Path to Exile on Gerard. Thankfully, that's not going to stop its abilities from resolving. Sure, we'll get another land. Let's get a Forest. Our opponents are down to 3 and 2 respectively. And there's the game. Good game to our opponents. Sorry about Doran, though, man. They had to leave early. Kykar, major threat across the whole game. Kenrith didn't do too much, but it did make the game a lot faster than I think it would have been otherwise. Although I think we were well set up for most of the game. And like I said, the deck's been really fun and really good to play. I'm actually going to go ahead and give it to Doran, because they did try to eke it out. I do hate when people leave, but we knew it was in their hand. They weren't getting anything. They weren't getting card draw. Nothing. So I am going to give it to them for sticking it as long as they did in the game. And there it is. 4 points to us, 1 to the Kenrith player, 1 to Doran. Sweet. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Okay, here is the deck. By the way, if you want these cards for your own Magic Online collection, they really just come in the starter kit or the toolbox or whatever it is for $5 in the store at the tab up top. So if you want to buy that for $5, it comes with not very many good cards, but you do get all the lands. So if you want that, you can go ahead and do that. Anyway, here's the deck. Still trying out some cards in the deck. Find and Finality is a great card of mine. I love this card. It seems to always do just enough work. But 6 mana for -4/-4, I don't know. Still testing it out. Otherwise, another card I'm testing out is Harness Infinity. Feels like it'll be good. I don't know if it is going to be good. To be fair, with Sir Conrad, it should be excellent, but Sir Conrad's a secret commander in everything I build these days, it seems. Other than that, we have a lot of stuff to destroy things, a lot of stuff to bring stuff back, and not so much on the protection, because usually things will die and not necessarily get exiled, and our commander getting exiled isn't that big of a deal. So things that care about dead things are Is Only 1,000-Eyed, gives us a bunch of sack fodder for various things, including our Phyrexian Tower in the land base, so not too shabby, plus it gives us a little bit of extra card draw. Voidmaw helps us exile stuff when it dies, and we can save our own graveyard, technically speaking, and play around other graveyard exiling effects with this card. And if it would die or get exiled, we can just put all our stuff back into our graveyard. Not too shabby. Plus, it's another one of those things that gets huge for Gerard, or just a smash face. Kokusho the Evening Star. Honestly, this isn't the best in the deck. I might take it out for something else. It's just one of those classic cards, drain some life, get some life back. But I feel like it's a little bit out of place here, so I'm probably going to replace it. Living Death. I've lost to this enough times to know it's good, so it's in the deck. Sir Conrad the Grim. I mean, what can I say? This card carries games. If it had been a rare, I don't think anyone would have batted an eyelash. Moonlight Bargain's a particular favorite card of mine, because it is card draw and you can lose some life. Might be good in your Witherbloom Witchcraft deck, by the way. You know, assuming it didn't come in there because I can't remember at the moment. But then it also just feeds your graveyard. It's kind of like a less powerful Sylvan Library almost. And one thing I just really want to point out I'm still trying in this deck is Mortal Combat. It's basically a well-telegraphed win condition that might get you killed. I still want to try it out though, because I figure if no one can do anything to me as long as this is on the field, I kind of deserve to win the game. Alright, I don't want to get too much into it. Obviously we saw Night Howler, Golgari Thug is in the deck, and we have a bunch of reanimating spells and stuff to get our stuff to the graveyard to reanimate. But, I mean, it's a reanimator deck, it's black-green, what are you going to do? Again, Old Stickfingers is interesting in that you can do the X if you want to, but you don't have to. He's a lot like Gyrus that way, if you remember that Jund commander, who, frankly, had they taken off anything in his text box, he would have been better. That card could have been so good. Anyway, reminiscing aside, Old Stickfingers, you don't have to do that X. Do it early, get stuff into your graveyard, set up for the rest of the game, and then just play the commander text on it. I actually really like the simplicity and design of that card, this card. And the deck's, yeah, it's pretty fun to play. Anyway, if you saw any cards that you want to purchase for yourself in paper, sealed product from the new set, or sleeves and other accessories to protect all of the glory, please consider using our affiliate links in the description below. It helps out the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra. On to the next game of Old Stickfingers. I'm still also a little upset that's not a Scarecrow, but that besides, again, the deck is awesome. See you then, stay safe out there.